Good morning. This is Tracy. We're going to go ahead and get started here in just a few minutes. Today's webinar is going to be Track 2, which is Basic Site Customization. And I'm going to be recording today's webinar, so hopefully it will go very, very smoothly, and you can access it on the website if you need to reference back to any of the things that we're going to be talking about as far as the features and functionality that we'll cover today. So we'll go ahead here and start it in just a few minutes. Thank you. I only need one. It's not that bad. So funny. Oh, yeah, no, I can't pick up a cup of water. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started while people are arriving. I just want to handle some housekeeping issues. Hopefully everyone has attended Track 1, which is the important site setup. So we're not going to be doing too much review. We will cover a little bit of review when we talk about the overall layout of the website. But we'll be mostly covering creating new and custom pages on your website, changing the attributes and the content of those pages. So we'll go ahead and get started here. I do want to let you know we have quite a few people. Right now we're at 32 attending today's webinar. So I have muted everybody just because of the noise. So if you do have any questions, please type those into the questions or the chat area on your GoToWebinar control panel. And I will be looking at those questions periodically through the webinar and trying to get to all of them. I will, of course, go ahead and answer as many as I can at the end of the webinar, as well as we'll be sending something out towards the end of these webinar series with all the questions that we received and answers for you to reference. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. What you'll see in front of you on the screen is once you lock into your store, so if you go into Signarama, the master website, you'll be able to look for a location. And when you lock into a location or you select a location, it will be, there's a red button that says make this my store. So we do encourage you to go into the main Signarama website. So if I come in here, so you'll go into the master website. So this is your Signarama website. You can key in a local store name up here. So I could do Marietta and then search, or I can come down here and find a local store. Actually, we'll just go ahead. And then what you'll be able to do is find a local store. You'll be able to click into the state and you'll see the various stores, and then you can drill down. You can hover over and see the address, or you can click into the map and it will drill down so you can see the more detail. You also have the ability to select a state here, as well as if I'm on California, which I selected, I can come down and select Marietta. So here's the Marietta store. And what I was talking about is you want to go ahead and click into this red area, make this my store. And this is going to pull up that Signarama store, Marietta. And then going over here to My Signarama, you can head into the home page of that franchisee store. Okay, and so right now what I have is the home page of the Murrieta store here. Okay, now if I have a question here is what if you don't see your store? And my question to you back is uh, you're not able to see your store on the master site. Is that the question? So there's not that listing of that store to lock into. And if that is the question, if you could go ahead and type in your store so I understand what store we're looking for. It might just be the fact that it hasn't been moved over to the platform yet. And so if not, I need to get that linked into the master site. So if you can provide me your store details, then I can go ahead and make sure that that gets handled on the back end. So when you get your login information, your store is there. Okay. Now, there is a question as far as if we could, in track one, we cover the management setup where you can select managers, you can select those that require, that get inquiries as well as those that can view orders. And there's a question here as to how do you add those in. At this time, that add button is not available to you. It's being controlled by the master site. So there's an admin area within this website where those individuals, those staff members are added for you. Once we get that populated on the franchisee websites, you will be able to edit that and add people on the back end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log into the back end of a franchisee website, which is the Murrieta, California store. So I'm going to come in here. And I'm logged in already, but basically you're going to put your URL in here /manage, and that will take you to the login screen for you to enter your details. Once you enter your details, you can go ahead and you're going to arrive on the home page or the home screen of the management area. To quickly cover the question from Tract 1, to be able to see and view the managers and set managers, you do need to be in this manager and click on the blue link. And this is where you would designate what various members are able to do or view. If they're checked as a manager, that means that they have back-end access to this management area and they can make edits and changes to the content and layout of your site. If they're marked for inquiries or orders, that means that they're going to be getting an email when an order is placed or an inquiry is placed on the website. What you will have, which once we get it linked to the franchisee websites, is you'll have another button here next to Save Changes, which would be Add a User. And you can come in here and go ahead and add a user in this section. So once we get that set up, I'll send a couple page document out to the group just on how to do that. So to begin with track 2, I'm going to come back to the home screen. And this is where, again, I have my setup area that we cover in track 1. In track 1, we also talk about editing pages that are part of the overall layout of these franchisee websites. And those pages that are included in the template, so they're pre-populated pages as well as pre-populated areas on your website, are located over here in General. And if I come into Settings, this is going to be where I can view and edit those pages and areas of the site. Now, as you can see, most of these are pages. So when you go to edit them, it's going to pull up an HTML area or module for you to be able to enter text as well as images and links. There are some unique areas down here towards the bottom that we talked about, which is being able to edit the Google map. You can also edit the About Us copy that's on the side of the website. You can edit the header bubble. And you can also edit those banners up at the top of the website. And when I talk about these banners, it's going to be this banner right here that scrolls. You have the ability to edit that and add your own custom banner to be included in that scrolling banners up at the top of your site. But because it's included in the overall layout, you have to access it through the General tab under Settings. You also have the left navigation menu. So if you want to edit that menu, you can come in here to edit, and it allows you to link pages as well as hide pages away. So if you have customers coming in, that left navigation is going to always be seen over in the left-hand side of every page. And as you can see, we've got home, local projects, learning center, and so forth. So that's the left navigation. So if I cancel out of this, this is that left navigation that I just talked about how you would edit that. You also have the ability to edit the My Signorama drop down. So you can add as well as take pages out of this. And we went over that in Tract 1, as well as editing the picture up at the top. So all those areas are pre-populated. They're part of the template. So if you want to make those edits, you do need to be in the back-end management area, but under General and under Settings. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually add some unique pages and talk about how you create pages with custom content and so forth. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is come over to Pages, the Pages drop down. My mouse. So there's the Pages drop down. If I go to My Pages, it's going to list all the pages that are available on my site. Some of those pages you can hide away. You can delete those pages. You can also edit the attributes of those pages as well as the contents. So if you come and you scroll down, this Marietta site has quite a few unique and custom pages that have been created for this site. So if I come into this outdoor signs page, I can look at the attributes of this page. So I can click on the attributes, and this is going to allow me to edit the page title, edit the menu title, as well as the URL. You also are encouraged, if you are adding these custom pages with content, to come in and add in a meta description and meta keywords for each of these pages. It just improves your search engine optimization of your site. So we do encourage you that if you are creating pages, that you come into the attributes area and you make sure there's a meta description and meta keywords for that page. In order to stay with the template, under the last area there, which is hide columns, we have hide the right column already as set as a default because it's in line with the overall style of the website. So I always make sure that that is checked when I'm creating pages for these websites and franchisees, because you want those pages to be consistent with the pre-populated pages that are created from the overall layout template. So once you've gone ahead and looked at your attributes and entered your meta description and keywords, you can edit the contents of a page by clicking on Edit Layout Contents here. And this is going to take you to the edit area of that particular page. What you can see here is there's a lot grayed out. And the parts that are grayed out are those parts that you can only edit through that overall layout, which is General and Settings. So you're not able to touch those. Those are already pre-populated in the template. But you are able to add in page content and images and so forth by using the various modules that you have access to. So in this case, on this particular page, they have a HTML text module inserted here with some text and a header and so forth. So in order to edit this particular module, I can come in here and click on the little pencil, and that takes me into the edit mode of that text HTML module. We went through this quite a bit in Track 1. where you can come in. It works very similar to a Word document. You can click your mouse or click in here with your, put your cursor where you want to type text, and you can go ahead and type text as well as paste images and content into this area. You also can upload images using that image icon there up at the top. So that allows you to insert images as well. And if I want to add an image, I can click on that image and it brings me up to image properties. I can go ahead and browse the server for the image, and this is a list of all the images that are already uploaded to the server. If I have a custom image that I want to bring in, I can go out and choose that image from my files on my computer. And we do want to mention that the images need to be JPEG, GIF, or PNG. So those are the types of images that pull through. And then once you go ahead and select that image, you can go ahead and send it to the server. So if I click on open, I will send it to the server. I'm not going to do that because we don't need some random image taking up room, but it will add this image to the server, and then you can select it and it will pull through to the image area here that you see, and you have the ability to adjust the width of that image. It will automatically adjust the height. If you have custom width and height dimensions for that image, you can unlock this auto key, and then you can type in the width and type in the height. Once you've uploaded that image, you can hit OK, and it will pull that image through to the HTML area that you're working with. If you are bringing images in, whether you're using the image icon or whether you're cutting and pasting images and content, please make sure that towards the bottom you check this box called Pull External Images to the local file. Basically, this allows you to apply the images and their links and make sure that they're tied into the server and you don't lose that information. And when you're done editing this HTML document, you need to save your changes up here in the top right. And once you save your changes, you always want to go up here to publish to push those changes to the front end so that customers are able to see those. So you'll want to click publish, and that'll bring those changes to the front end. I'm going to close this area and we'll go back to the management area. If I come into pages, we just went into my pages, and this is where again we can view all those pages. We went in and edited the attributes, but again you can edit the contents from this area as well. So you can go straight into that HTML that we were working with by clicking on contents. Or what we did is we went through attributes, fixed our attributes, and then edit our layout and contents. So two ways in which you can get to that area. What we're going to do now is add a custom page. So if I come up here to pages and I go to add a page, this is where I can enter a page title. Okay, and a menu title. And then I can also add this onto the end of the URL. And I could put a meta description in here. So what would be found on this page. Okay, so we've gone ahead and put some information in there and then some keywords. and just separate those keywords by commas. Okay, so we've gone ahead and done that. I'm going to go ahead and hide the right column, and I'm going to add that new page. Once I add that page, it will immediately take me and pop me into being able to edit the layout and contents of that page. So if I click on Edit Layout and Contents, this will take me to the edit mode where I can add information using various modules. So what you'll see here, here's a blank HTML module. So what we can go in here and we can edit with using the pencil. I can do custom signs, select the bolded, give it a heading. I can also upload a banner. So if I want to browse the server, I can grab an image from my server. So there's a catcher image. I can bring that in. I can also click on this image and I can link it. So if I click on the image that I want to link, I just go up here to this world and I insert a link. And this is where I can type in the URL that I want to link it to. You also can link to email as well. So you can type in that information there. So if I select email, it's going to pop in my email address and so forth. Now I also can link text as well. So if I go ahead and highlight the text that I want to insert a link, come up here to the world and hit link, and that'll allow me to put in the URL I want to link it to. Okay, and when you're working with these links, you do have some other options that are more advanced. If you click on the Target tab, this allows you to link within the same window, open a new window, and so forth. So you can select that. From a website standpoint, you always want to keep your customers on your website. So same window is always preferred, but I'll leave that up to you. So that's how you link images in text. You just highlight or select the image, and then you come up here to the world with the link and you insert that link. Now if I want to come up here, I'm going to save my changes. And I have my custom signs. Now of course, in order to do images, links, and text, you want to be in a text HTML module. However, there are different modules that you can add. So if I come up here and I scroll, this top area, this drop down, I can select the various modules that are available to me. So depending upon what I want to add to this page, I can choose the right module. So for example, if I wanted to add a form to this page, I would want to add the form module. So I could insert that form. If I wanted to add a post, I would add the post module. So this is what we're going to do here in just a few minutes. Just to show you how that works, I will just select a Facebook like box module. Or actually we'll select the Google map. So if we select the Google map and I insert that module, it immediately takes me into that edit mode. I don't have to click on the pencil to edit that module. And then again, I can just type in my address. And save. Now with the map module, it will pull in the map once you publish it. It won't do it while you're on the edit mode of that page. So you can see there's the module for the map. And then there's my custom HTML module. Now I can change the format by clicking on the module and dragging it to where I want it to go. So if I want it to go under, I can, well, let's click this one and move it up there. And I can drop that one up there. So I can click on it and move them around, the various modules. So as I mentioned, the pencil gets you into the edit mode, but you do have these other two buttons, and this is to hide a module and this is to delete a module from that page. So once you've gone ahead and added the right module and what you wanted to put on that page. You save your changes and then you publish. And when we publish, we can go ahead and view this page. So we can see what we've done here. And what we've done is added this area here, and there's the map of our location. Okay. So one of the questions on the images is what are the dimensions in pixel? It's basically the images will adjust for you. The only thing that from an image standpoint is to get a banner to come fully across, it does need to be 920 dimension. You can have different widths depending upon how large or what the width is of that banner. But in order for it to take up the whole cross section of the page, it's 920 if you're working with the banners. Now here we have this map. So we've gone ahead and made our changes to this page and we've published them, and now we've viewed that. What we're going to do next is go ahead and work with the banner that we've been kind of talking about. There's two areas where you edit the banners. One, you can edit the overall layout, the Z top banner from the general settings area. Or you can choose to display a banner on a page. So it will only be applied to that one page. And if you choose to do that, what you need to do is we're going to come back into the back end, the management area. So I'll click on Management Console. And under the Banners tab, if I go to My Banners, this is going to give me a list of all the banners that are on my website. So you can see those banners here. So I've uploaded a couple new banners and you can edit those. Now you cannot edit the pre-populated banners. Those are already put on your website and you can choose to select them, but you can't edit those banners. However, if you want to add a custom banner to this area, you just come up here to Banners, add a banner, and if you want to add a banner campaign, you can do that as well. So you want to enter your text, your alternative text for that image or that banner. So there's the Anaheim Hills catcher banner. So you could do vinyl banner. Okay, so we've got the catcher banner there. Now we can link it to different areas. You can link it to a product, a page, a keyword, and so forth. So if you wanted to click on that catcher banner, I could have it take you to the vinyl banner page so that you could see that. But right now I'm just going to leave that blank and open in the same window. So I'm going to open the same window, and then I can choose to display that banner for a certain time period. So I can do it from today to never. If I click in here, I can type in a date that I want it to expire or begin. And then I'm going to go choose that file. So if I go ahead and choose that catcher, there we have it. And then I can open that. And it has uploaded that image. And then I'll go ahead and save my changes. So now I've uploaded that banner here to the list of banners, and you can see that I can edit that as well. So now I'm going to go and add that banner to the page that I want it on. So if I go back to Pages and I go to My Pages, I can search for Custom Banner Page, the one that we just created. See if we can find the custom banner page. Let's type in the whole thing. Oh, I think it's custom signs. That's what we created. There we go. So there's the page that we created. and we can edit the attributes as well as the contents. So if I go into the contents button, it pulls up that editing page, and there's the two modules that we added. So now in order to add the banners on this page, we need to go up to the module drop down and select the banner module and insert that onto the page. And that's going to pull up the editing mode of that banner module. I'm going to show one at a time, and I also just want to show one per row. And if I want to mix, if I want to have a rotating banner, I can have it fade or slide. So I'll have it slide every 5 seconds. And then I didn't do a campaign, I did a banner. So we'll go in here, grab the Cut Your Vinyl banner and insert that. And just so you can see the scrolling, I'll select a different banner as well. So we'll do the truck graphics and insert that. So you've got 2 banners selected, and then you can go ahead and save your changes here. So this is going to add that banner to that page that we created. Now it adds it to the top, but again, if I wanted to drag and move things around, I can do that. So if I want it to go underneath this area, I can. And then I can also, I'm going to go ahead and delete the map. So we'll go ahead and delete that module. So now we only have the banner in this area. Now because this banner is going to rotate between the catcher image and this, I'm going to go in here and edit that module, take out this image, highlight it and delete it, and then we make custom Okay, so we've got that, and then we'll go ahead and save our changes. And now you won't see the scrolling of the banners while it's in the edit mode. So what we need to do is come up here and publish that. And we can now view that page. So if I scroll down here, I've got custom signs, and then there's the banner, and we can go ahead and it should fade out here in just a moment. Might have to go actually put it on the front end to do that, so it's for it to rotate. Yeah, for some reason it's not rotating through. So I can have that rotate, but I need to actually preview it on the front end to see that. So we'll go ahead and go back into the management console. We'll revisit that in just a little bit. The other thing that you're able to do is you can add forms to a page. So if I come up to forms, the drop down here, and I go into my forms, this is where I'm going to see all the different forms that are available on my site. So some of these are pre-populated forms. You can go in and edit those forms, or you can create new forms. In order to create a new form, you can come up here to forms and add a form. And then what you'll do is give your reference of your form. And a title. And the button text, which is basically the button that when they submit the form, so we'll just write submit, and response to them submitting the form, they'll get a thank you. Email, you can choose that and email it. Select the individual you want it emailed to. And then you can use CAPTCHA to prevent spammers. So basically that's going to make you enter the code so that it kind of limits the spam that you get from these forms that are created. Once you enter the attributes of the form, you can come up here to save changes. And then it populates this fields area. So this is where you would create the form, the fields for the form. So you add in a new field, and if I just do a text, I can do name, The description is optional, but I'll make it required. And then I save those changes. So now it's added that field down here. Because this is a sign request form, I might want to add a new field and say I want dimensions and make that a required field. And then I might definitely want their email, so another text. Now I can use other drop-down list. I can use the radio select button. So if I wanted to say, you know, maybe it's a vinyl required, and then save the changes. I can create radio buttons that, you know, check vinyl, check wood, check whatever. So you can go ahead and do that. So you're building your form really down here by adding the different fields and making those selections. And then when you've created all the fields on your form, you're going to come up here and save changes. And what that does is if I go back into my forms, I now have that form in here. So we'll go, there's the sign request form that we created. Now, in order to get that on a particular page, we need to figure out what page do we want to put it on. So we'll go ahead and just add it to the page that we've been working with, which is the signs page. So the Murrieta custom signs. And the reason why I'm doing this is this particular back end has a lot of pages that have been created. I mean, there's numerous pages. So instead of trying to scroll through and find the page, I'm just using the search area up here to get to that page faster. Then I can go into the contents of that page. And now the first thing I need to do to get that form on that page is to come up here and select the right module. So there's the form module, and then I can insert that onto my page. And it's basically, I'm going to select the form that I want to put on. So where's our sign request form? And we'll save. That's going to bring that form through. There it is. We want to bring this above it. And we also want the banner above it. So we'll do that. And when you see that white arrow, that means it fits. So you can just drop it in there. And then we're going to go ahead and publish our changes. And we'll view that page with that new form on it. So if we scroll down, we can see there's the custom signs. We make custom signs and banners. Now it's scrolling, so we've activated that. So you can see the scrolling banners there. And then you also can see the sign request form down below. Okay, so there's the page that we've been working with and the various modules we've been adding. There's one last module that I want to talk about, which is the post module. It's basically a way to put current events or newsworthy information onto your website. You could use an HTML module to do that, but if you use the post module, you can actually designate a time frame in which you want that post to be up on your site for that period of time, and then it will automatically be removed from your site. You don't have to remind yourself to remove the old content. So in order to do a post, we're going to go back to the management console, so back to the management area. And posts are actually found under pages, the pages drop down. So if I go to post, this is going to show me all the posts that are on my site. So I've created a couple posts. In order to create a post, I come up here to pages and there's an add a post area. And what you can do is put in your post title. So what we could do, what post do, how about, so there's the vinyl banner promotion. And we can select a date, so we want it to start today. and then we can put the post. Okay, so we've got that. So we've typed in the publish date, the excerpt, and the post, and then we'll go ahead and save that. And that will add that blog or that post to your post area, so you'll see it there. And now in order to add that post to the page, again, we're going to go to that page that we want to add it to. So we'll go back to that page that we were in. And again, you can add these to any of the pages that you've created in your My Page area. So we'll go ahead and pull up that page. Grab the page and go into the contents. And now if I scroll down here, I've got my content on there, but I want to add the post, so I need to go grab the post module and insert it. Now it's going to ask me how many posts that I want to put up there. I'm just going to do all of them. So at this point, and then I'll save this. And it will pull through those posts that are in there that are active. So you can see there's a Marietta training post that I did, but there's the vinyl banner promotion post. Okay, so you can go in and edit that, hide it, or delete it. But we want to put that up there and post that. And then what we can do is publish and view that page again. And then what you should have is there's the post. And if I click on the vinyl banner promotion post, it'll open up and I'll be able to see the content of that post. So today we'll be at the fairground promoting custom vinyl banners. Come check us out. Enter a drawing for free custom banner. So you can see the post there. What I'm going to do now is just look at some of the questions that we have. One of the questions was on meta keywords, upper or lowercase. It doesn't matter if they're upper or lowercase. If they are capitalized, they will get a little bit more attention from the search engine, but it's usually only on the content of the page, not so much the keyword that's on the attributes. So if you want the search engines to look at something when you're putting your content on the page, you can capitalize as well as change the headers. Header 1, header 2, those things are important for the search engines. So it's more important what content is showing on the page versus that in the back end of the attributes area. One of the questions was, is an example of where to link it to. When I was talking about links, you have that ability. If you have an image, I can go ahead and link that image to maybe the gallery. So that would be an example of where you would link images or text to. So while I'm on this page, if I came into local projects, on my local projects page, this is a link. If I click on this image, it's going to take me now to the outdoor, the outdoor sign page. So that's an example of it linking to a different area of your website. There's a question here is, can you insert a form from a form builder site like JotForm? You don't have that ability to upload those forms. You need to create the form within the website on the back end. If there is a form that you already use, some of those forms have been brought over as templates and those forms have been created for you. If it's a unique form that you use for your store, my suggestion would be putting a link to that form so that you can still use that form that you've created from the different form builder site. There is the ability to import a PDF or a Word document onto the site. When you're in the text HTML area, you can go into the source and paste that information on the back end of that area. Again, though, one of the best ways of doing that is creating a link to that document. So you're not just putting that document up, you're basically linking it to that article or that PDF that you want to link it to. And that would be done within an HTML block. One of the questions was, how do you set the date that you want it to be deleted? When you're in the blog area, you can key into that field and just type in the date. It gives you an example. On some of the other things, you can go in and when you click into that field, it pops up a calendar. So it kind of varies what you're setting the date and what you're doing, whether it's a form, a post, a blog, or so forth. But you always can click into that date field and either type in the date or it will pull up a calendar and you can select the date. Okay, the last few things that we're going to be covering, if I go back into the management console of the website, you will be in the future able to see a change log of all the changes that have been made on the site. And that will be under the general setting area. You'll see what's called a change log. And it will give you a history of who made the change and what the change was. So if you need to reset that change, you have an idea as to when it was made and who made it, and you can reset that. You can't see it at this point in time, but you will see it within this drop down. It'll be a choice here, and then it will give you a log of all the changes that have been made on your site and by whom. It will also give you the date that those changes were made. Now, the last thing that I want to cover is working with coupons. There is a coupon area on your site that you can create a coupon or a special for your customers to be able to enter at the time of checkout so that they can get a discount or use that coupon for free shipping when they check out. So to do that, it's within the e-commerce area, the e-commerce drop down. And if I come over to coupons, this is going to be where I can create those coupons. So you can see I've already created a couple, but in order to create a new one, I can come up here to this add coupon and I can plug in a code in the name of the coupon. So if I want this code to be vinyl 12, and this will be that vinyl banner promotion. So I can type in the thing. Enable just means that it's enabled. From today to expiring never. Here's an example of how you would set that. So if I click in here, it's going to pull up a calendar. I'm going to put it as today. And then if I want it to expire, I want it to expire on the 31st. So I just select that date. Now this coupon, I can have three types. I can have a per line coupon based on the subtotal of that line. I can have a coupon based on the subtotal of the whole order, or I can have a coupon that's just based on the shipping. So it's only applied to shipping. So you have those three types of coupons. At this point, if I do a per order coupon type, I want to make sure that I block more coupons. This basically allows customers only to use one coupon at the time of checkout. They can't use all the different coupons that are in effect. And then you can change the price. So if I do 20% off, and then my checkout code is vinyl 12. Now here's what I can apply that coupon to. So I can have a subtotal requirement. So if I want it to be $300 spent on a custom banner, I can put that in there. I can also tie a coupon to a category. So in this case, we did the vinyl banner. So we'll go ahead and select vinyl banners. So they have to basically purchase at least $300 worth of a vinyl banner for this coupon to take 20% off. You can also select a specific product. So if you come in here to add product, you can put in the product code or title of the product that you want to make that coupon applied to only. So at this point, I'm just going to do a subtotal and a category for this coupon. And if I go ahead and hit save, it's going to add that coupon to the list of coupons enabled on my system. And then now when they go and they check out, they can enter that coupon code and get 20% off their order on vinyl banners. So I've got it enabled at this point. So that's working with coupons. The last thing, and these are kind of review areas from the first track, is what you need to do from an e-commerce setting point of view is go into, go into products and go into categories. And over at the e-commerce tab, this gives you a list of all the categories of products on your site. If there is a check mark next to that category, it basically is enabling customers to come on and place an order on your website. If you do not want that to happen, you need to find the category and uncheck it. And that will basically only allow them to put an inquiry on the site, not place an actual order and take a credit card for it. So we do want you to take a look at the e-commerce area within products and categories and make your selections there. It will be defaulted to everything will be checked. So right off the bat, you're going to be able, all customers are going to be able to place orders for any of these categories. So definitely go in there if there's something that you don't want customers to be able to place an order on. And then I also had a question earlier as well. If on the general settings area, if I go into general settings, and I can do it here or I can do it from the general settings tab. If I go to this area, there is a place where you can do plus or minus the price change margin restriction. So it's going to be plus or minus 20%. It's where you can change the price margin. So it's an addition to the already marked up price. Now, one of the questions was that you're not able to do it at this time, and I can see that it's still going 0 to 0. So this is not active, and I will make sure that I get that reported so that you guys have that ability. But it will say margin restrictions plus or minus 20. And when you see that, that will be pretty much activated for you to go ahead and select and key in that percentage that you want on your site. When you do that, remember, it applies to everything on your site, all products, all categories. So something to be aware of. And then again, if you make those changes, save your changes. One of the questions is there a spell check in the editor? There is in the HTML editor, I believe. I know on my blog, I misspelled a word, so I will double check on that. But I'm not the best speller, and I've had it spell check me on an HTML module. Right now, every page, the question is, will every page have the large banner at the top and the 4 boxes above the content? And then the answer to that is yes, every page will have that. And yes, that is editable, and it's editable within that general and settings area. You can click edit and change that banner. One of the questions here is there a way for the customer to put in codes for their salespeople? I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm not quite sure the answer for that. One of the questions here is, will another store's coupon code work on our site like they currently do? There will be overall coupon codes that will be set up from the master site. So if it is a master coupon, that will be set on the master admin area, and that will be able to be applied to all franchisees' sites. What I just showed you is if you have a custom coupon that you want to put into effect, that's how you would manage that. One of the questions here is, where does the coupon show? You can choose to show that coupon on your homepage. It's completely up to you. You could send an email out to your customers and have a link to that coupon or a promotion, and then reference that coupon. That's completely up to you. You would just need to go into your home page or the page that you want to put that coupon on. Maybe if it's vinyl banners that you have a promotion, maybe put a banner up on that vinyl banner page and advertise that coupon that's going on. So you can do that. And again, that would be done pretty much, the advertising would be done through an HTML module. One of the questions is, for coupons, do we have to give them a code ahead of time, or can it be posted somewhere, like if we're running a 10% off this month on banners? You don't have to give them a coupon code ahead of time. You can communicate that code to your customer whenever you'd like. But on the back end, when you're creating it, you do need to give it a code upon the creation of that. And then you can, when you make it active, you can go ahead and communicate that code out to your customer. The question is, in the coupon example, if the product code was not entered, would the discount be given to any product over $300? Is there a list of product codes? Yes, there is a list of product codes. And at this point, the way that I did that coupon, it would need to be $300, and it would have to be within the category of products that were vinyl banners. I selected a category to go with it. Now, if I didn't select a category or a product, it would basically just apply to all orders of $300 or more. One of the questions is, so if you unchecked category, the message order online will be replaced by call for more information or wording like that. Yes, if you uncheck a category, my suggestion to you is, yes, in the box, when you go to check out, it will only say something like inquiry only on this particular product or category. So customers will get that flag of, there'll be some type of wording that says inquiry only upon the checkout. If you want to add more information, what I suggest you do is on that actual page where that category or products is, I would go ahead and put call for more information, and then, or email for more information, and put a link to your email, or maybe even have a form linked there as well that they can fill out. One of the questions here is on the controlling pricing. Will you guys have the ability to do it per product, or right now, or only on across the board? Right now, the only option is across the board. It has been requested that you have that ability to do it per product. I don't know where that stands at this point, but it is on the roadmap. So, but right now, when we go live with these websites, it will only be the only option is to apply it across the board. The last question I'm going to tackle is, will there be a step-by-step sheet that shows the steps we need to take? Yes, there is a website out there. It's the Signarama help website, and there are help sheets that you can access, which are a couple page documents on how to do a specific task, and it has screenshots. So you can reference those. There are small videos on there as well. There are recorded webinars, so today's webinar will go up there. And there is also a manual. It's 42 pages long, but it is very comprehensive, and it gives you a step-by-step way to do the different features and functions on the back end of the site. So it's broken up into sections, and you can go ahead and find the right section. It's going to be on the website, and you'll receive the website URL when you receive your login information. So it should be in the email. And if you don't get that within the next day or two, please feel free to email me and I can follow up and find out where your access information is and why you haven't received it yet. Thank you very much for attending today's webinar. I appreciate the great questions, and I wish you good luck. There's a lot of new features, and we're very excited about these websites. You can do quite a bit with them. So enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for attending today's webinar.